You know, something's happening on Ram lots right now, and I feel like I need you to see it for what it truly is. Prices are dropping. Real money. Thousands off the stickers on trucks with the new Hurricane engine in them. And right on schedule, here comes the YouTube boys, the auto content creators, reviewers that you've watched, channels, unfortunately a hell of a lot bigger than mine, all singing the same song this week. Now's the time. What a deal. Get in there. Fellas, I probably don't need to tell you, but a price drop is precisely when they need warm bodies the most. That's not a deal. That's a distress signal with a rebate strapped to it. Nobody discounts a truck people are lining up for. Discount the ones they're walking past. So tonight, I'm going to do what none of these channels will do, apparently. I'm going to tell you what you're actually buying or being asked to buy. A 3-liter engine, 3 liters, 2 turbos, making up 540 horsepower in a 6,000-pound truck from a company that couldn't keep its own assembly line running because it couldn't build enough of these engines that worked. That last part's not a rumor, by the way. We'll get there, I promise. And I want to say the thing out loud that apparently nobody with a selfie stick, a camera, and a YouTube channel is willing to say these days. This engine came out in 2022. There is not one Hurricane on the face of this earth with 200,000 real world miles on it. Not one that's seen 10 winters. Not one that's towed through 10 violently hot summers. It can't exist yet. The engine is 4 years old as a species. So every man on this platform telling you to go drop 50, 60, 80 grand on one is recommending something he cannot possibly know anything about. You can't vouch for a track record that hasn't happened. I don't know how you sleep at night doing it or a commission check. And by the way, some of you have noticed the same thing I have about these channels. The dash tour, the screen demo. Look at the ramps. Look at all the leather. Never a recall number. Never a complaint database. Never one word of pushback. Truck after truck after truck and everything sunshine and unicorn farts. I've started digging into how that content actually gets made. And fellas, we're gonna have a whole conversation about that real soon. But tonight, we're going to focus in on just one truck. Let's get into it. Now let's talk about what this thing is, mechanically speaking, because it sounds like the clowns pushing content evidently refuse to. The old 5.7 in these trucks, 5.7 liters, about 395 horsepower, right? Do the division. That's roughly 69 horsepower per liter. Big, lazy engines, loafing around, never working too hard. That's why those engines outlasted most marriages. Low stress. Every mile was a light jog. Now the Hurricane, high output, 3 liters, 540 horsepower, 180 horsepower per liter, nearly 3 times the output squeezed out of every cubic inch. And like life itself, fellas, there is no free lunch in an engine. Horsepower is pressure mostly. Really, that's about all it is. Pressure and heat, of course. Pushing on pistons. 3 times the specific output means the pressure inside those cylinders, the heat in those heads, the load on those rods and bearings is in a different universe than the engine it replaced that ran well for so many decades. So how do they get there? 2 turbos, little turbines the size of your fist, spinning at over 100,000 RPM, glowing red hot, cramming air in under boost. And here's the part the suburbanites, mesmerized by the manly appearance of these trucks, don't appreciate. Boost is a burst. You pass the guy, turbo whistling, everybody feels so damn cool, right? Now hitch 8,000 pounds to it and pull out of Kansas City in July. That engine isn't visiting boost anymore. It lives at full time, hour after hour. Peak pressure, peak heat. Little tiny cheaply made engine, screaming at the top of its lungs to move 8,000 pounds. The old V8 saw that kind of stress with wide open throttle on the on-ramp for about 8 seconds at a time. The Hurricane? Hell, all of these little shits at this point see it all afternoon. Every engineer alive will tell you pressure and heat are what will kill these engines, right? The whole industry is betting that modern metal and modern oil, of course, can outrun that math. Maybe they can. I'll be straight. Maybe they can, maybe they're right. But that bet is not settled. And the test lab is your driveway. All right, now before any of you diehards start crying fear-mongering in the comments section, let me read what's already public record. 4 years in, February 2025, Stellantis recalls about 8,000 Wagoneers and Grand Wagoneers with this engine, the high-output Hurricane. The problem, the engine can shut off while you're driving it. The cause, fuel pump lobes on the camshaft, machined wrong at the factory. The fix, inspect it. And if it fails, they pull it and give you a new one. Sound familiar? Machining errors, metal problems from the factory, engines coming out. That is the exact same disease we just walked through on the Tundra. Different company, different line of gibberish, same sloppy hands. And here's the one that should really stop you. Last spring, Stellantis had to stop the Grand Wagoneer assembly line completely. Their flagship, the $100,000 luxury of all luxury SUVs. Why? They could not get enough good Hurricane engines to put in them. The company that builds the engine could not supply itself. And right now, today, there is a law firm publicly investigating a class action lawsuit on the 2025 Ram 1500 with this engine. Check engine lights, truck shutting down, batteries drained overnight, dealers that can't figure out what in the hell is wrong. Those complaints are sitting on a federal website. Anybody can go read them. Now let me be precise, because precise is what separates me from the guys for some damn reason trying to sell you this truck. There is no recall on the Hurricane in the Ram quite yet. The recall was on the Jeeps. The law firm investigation is an investigation, not a verdict. Again, yet. But 4 years into this engine's entire existence, we've already got a stalling recall, a stop assembly line, and a law firm's vultures circling. That's the infant. And they want us happily co-signing 84 months on it. Think about that. And now we step into the gossip world. I'm going to label this plain. What I'm about to say is not verified. It's forums. It's owner groups. It's guys talking. You know what they're whispering about? Valve train noise. Lifter tick on cold start. Top end clatter. Scattered but accumulating guys talking about heat under sustained load. Not in any recall yet. Not in any TSB I can show you. Gossip. But fellas, valve train noise? Does that sound familiar to anybody? Because I'm telling you, the Tundra forums were full of that exact same whisper 2 years before Toyota recalled 250,000 trucks and started yanking engines out. The gossip world heard the Tundra coming before the government did. So no, I can't verify it. I'm telling you, it's rumor, and I'm telling you to weigh it as rumor. But I've watched this movie before, and it sucked the first time. And spoiler alert, the dog dies at the end. And the opening scene looks identical. And there's one more piece of context, and this one is verified. There was a 200,000-mile test that made the rounds recently. EcoBoost Turbo V6 against the 5.0 V8. Run side by side, long hauls mostly. By around 130,000 miles, the turboed truck had roughly double the maintenance cost. New turbo internal work mostly. The V8 did need a water pump, but that was about it. Now, understand what that comparison means for tonight. The EcoBoost is the good outcome for these things. That's a turbo engine from a company that's been building boosted engines at real scale since 2011. 1 million plus of them on the road. 15 years of lessons learned. And boosted still costs double to keep alive past 130K. The Hurricane doesn't have 15 years of lessons. It has 4, so equivalent of about 15 minutes. From Stellantis, a company that has proven it can ruin every company it plays with. If double maintenance is what the honor student turns in, what do you think the cost-cutting special needs European kid is going to give you at 130,000 miles? All right, let's land this thing. These are not normal times, people. This is not 2005 where you wander onto a lot where everything on it has a proven engine in it. Damn near every half-ton on the market right now is running a brand new powertrain experiment. Small engines, big boost, new transmission with 36 speeds, new electronics stacked on all of it. The industry swapped its entire drivetrain philosophy inside of 5 years, and the long-term data does not exist yet. Not for any of them. So when a truck gets $6,000 cheaper, that is not the universe smiling on you. $48,000 instead of $54,000 for an unproven, half-assed, underpaid engineer's wet dream is not a deal, sir. It's a smaller mistake at best, and you know how this should have worked. You think about this for even a second. If this market made any damn sense at all, they'd have rolled the Hurricane out cheap, next to the proven engine. Both on the menu. Experimental engine, experimental price. Let the early guy volunteer at 30K. Let the rest of us watch for 5 years. Let the engine earn its way to being the standard. That's not radical, guys. That's how every damn engine you trust got proven. Somebody went first, and the market watched. Instead, they took the proven one off the menu, made the experiment mandatory at 60 grand, and when you wouldn't eat it, then they cut the price. They didn't discount the risk. The risk is identical at 48 as it was at 54. Same 4-year-old engine, same recall history, same missing decade of winters. They discounted your participation in the experiment. You're not getting a deal on a truck. You're getting a signing bonus for volunteering. A working man does not get ahead buying discounted unicorn farts with 84 months of interest attached. That's not how any of this is supposed to work. You know what the move is in times like this. Track record. The engine with 10 brutal summers and 300,000 miles. Examples that are walking around in the wild today. Let some other guy volunteer his driveway as Stellantis' test lab. The resale will tell us the truth about these engines in 3 years. It always does. I'm just telling you before it's polite to say it. I'm the highwayman, and I'll see you at the next exit.